Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys at Magic. This is Hunter, all by myself. It's the final day of spoiler season, and because it's the final day, nothing really has been spoiled, besides the commons. However, there is one card we missed from yesterday's video, and there's a couple other cards that we like to do in this final spoiler video of cards we may not have talked about, and that's including a common or uncommon card. And we also go through our Instagram, pick out the top 3 most liked pictures of spoiler season and talk about those as well. So if you're not following us on Instagram and you want to make your voice heard on next spoiler season, like a card that you really enjoy, and we could talk about it at the end of spoiler season in our final video, like this one. So let's go ahead and start off with Kaya Geist Hunter. Kaya Geist Hunter is the new Kaya Planeswalker. She costs 1, a white and a black for a starting loyalty of 3. She's got a +1 ability that says creatures you control gain Death Touch until end of turn. Also, put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature token you control. She has a -2 ability that says until end of turn, if 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. And her -6, which is their ultimate, says exile all cards from all graveyards, then create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying for each card exiled this way. So you can potentially get a ton of spirits. But the question I have right away is, if she's a Geist Hunter, why is her ultimate making Geists, essentially? Shouldn't she be killing them? Not making a bunch? I don't know. I think that's a little weird. Overall, it's interesting making spirits as well, because most of the spirit cards that we saw in this set are white and blue, not black. So it's kind of weird that we're seeing those as well in her colors being black. But her +1 ability is cool for gaining Death Touch to end of turn. That's awesome. Just give all your creatures Death Touch and swing in. If you have little things and they have big things, they're not going to block. Or if you have big things, they're forced to block. I don't know. I think it's cool. Death Touch is always nice. But she's mainly just a token lover. And if you're a token deck in white and black, then she's perfect. You love her. Let's move on to cards that we didn't get to talk about. Let's talk about the straight to commander cards. These are cards that, as I just said, are straight to commander. You can find them in set boosters and collector boosters. Cannot find them in draft boosters. And you won't find them in the precon decks of the commanders that are coming out as well. The first one is Breathkeeper Seraph. Breathkeeper Seraph is 4 and 2 white for a 4/4 creature angel that has flying and soulbound. Soulbound, if you don't know, you may pair this creature with another unpaired creature when either enters the battlefield. They remain paired for as long as you control both of them. As long as Breathkeeper Seraph is paired with another creature, each of those creatures has, when this creature dies, you may return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of your next upkeep. I see what they're going for here. There is a complete cycle of these soulbounds. This is the first one, obviously. It's cool. We've seen the soulbound partner mechanic before. It's, I don't know how good it's going to be, but this one in particular pretty much keeps each other soulbound, right? So if either of your soulbound creatures with Breathkeeper Seraph die, it comes back and they remain soulbound. Overall, a 6 mana 4/4 is kind of a lot. I don't know how often you will be playing this card. Next up is Mirage Phalanx. It's 4 and 2 red for a 4/4. Same thing as the one before. It's got soulbound. This one, as long as it's paired with another creature, each of those creatures has at the beginning of combat under your turn, create a token that's a copy of this creature, except it has haste and loses soulbound. exile it at the end of combat. So, I mean, you can make another one of these cards and just have it die. Or you can even pair it up with a massive creature and have that massive creature become a token. And then swing in with the massive creature and not have to worry. But it seems like a lot of obstacles to jump through. You got to get the mana for the massive creature. Got to get the mana for this to put that creature. Then you got to soulbound them. A lot of hoops. But again, for 6 mana, that's a lot. That is a lot. I think it's cool. Nothing really wows me about these cards. I'm just going to move on to the next one. It's Doomweaver. Doomweaver is 4 and 2 black. You see the trend here. It is a 1/8 creature spider horror with reach. It also has soulbound. As long as Doomweaver is paired with another creature, each of those creatures has, when this creature dies, draw cards equal to its power. So unfortunately with Doomweaver, its power is only 1. So if it dies, you draw 1 card. Is that good enough for 6 mana? Probably not. If I was the opponent, I would be killing Doomweaver and not the one it's paired with. So you can only draw 1 card. Or exile it. And then what happens? You paid 6 mana for a 1/8 for no reason. I just don't think it's very good. It's kind of weird. The next one is Thundering Mightmare. Thundering Mightmare is 4 and 1 green. We switched it up for a 3/3 creature horse spirit. It's got soulbound. As long as Thundering Mightmare is paired with another creature, each of those creatures has, whenever an opponent casts a spell, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. That one's pretty dope. I like that. I'm a big counter fan, so having it go on whenever your opponents cast a spell, that's big. Your creatures are going to be getting bigger as you pass your turn. Because let's say you're playing a 4-person game of Commander. Depending on how many spells 3 of your opponents cast before it gets to your next turn, they're pumping up your creatures. That's awesome. Count me in, Thundering Mightmare. That one's winning so far. Let's move on to the final one. That's Imperious Mindbreaker. Imperious Mindbreaker is 1 and 2 blue. Completely switched it up. For a 1/4 creature human wizard, it's got soulbound as well. States as long as Imperious Mindbreaker is paired with another creature, each of those creatures has, whenever this creature attacks, each opponent mills cards equal to its toughness. Pretty strong for a mill-themed deck. I would put that in a mill-themed deck 100%. I would say the green one is the strongest, but this one comes in a nice second place for me. If you're running that mill theme, specifically with big butts for their toughness, because this one's milling 4 cards every time it attacks. So I mean, depending on what your opponent blocks with, they could survive. I don't know. Those mill themes, though, we'll see. Another card they announced that goes straight to Commander is Hollowhenge Overlord. Hollowhenge Overlord is 4 and 2 green for a 4/4 creature wolf. It's got flash. It says at the beginning of your upkeep, for each creature you control that's a wolf or a werewolf, create a 2/2 green wolf creature token. That's a lot of creatures, depending on how many you have. Because when you have this come in, it makes all those tokens. If they stick around for the next turn, you're essentially doubling your token count because it's going to count all those tokens that you made every turn. So it is 6 mana. That is a lot. It does have flash, which is cool. But if you leave 6 mana open, flash this on someone's end step, then it comes up to your upkeep. You make all those tokens. Yeah. You could have doubling season, making double the amount of tokens. It can get pretty nutty with this card. I'm a fan. I've always liked werewolves to try. I've always been a tribal theme guy. But yeah. And the final card they announced for the straight to commander is Umbris Fear Manifest. Umbris Fear Manifest is 3, a blue and a black for a 1/1 legendary creature Nightmare Horror. Umbris Fear Manifest gets +1/+1 for each card your opponents own in exile. Whenever Umbris or another Nightmare Horror enters the battlefield under your control, target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a land card. That's a super mean card. We will be talking more about this in our Commander Grade video, which is coming after this video. I don't know when, but it is coming after. I promise you. I think this is really cool. I've never really seen Nightmare or Horror Tribal, but tell you what, if this was a commander, it'd be pretty cool. That second part, especially, super mean. Until they hit a land, I have gone in games of EDH where I just don't hit lands for multiple turns. So I'm essentially, let's say I mill 4. This gets +1/+1 4 times. Okay. Now it's a 5/5. That would suck. Moving on to a reprint that David wanted to talk about. This is Abrade. If you don't know what Abrade is, Abrade costs 1 and a red for an instant. It says choose 1. Abrade deals 3 damage to target creature or destroy target artifact. Abrade has been a very good card for a very long time. I know it has mostly been printed as an uncommon card, now being printed as a common for standard. The only time it's ever been printed common before that was in Double Masters, which made it not legal at the time. So, seeing this at common is huge. People are going to love this card. Yeah, this card is 100% seeing play in standard once again. Destroying target artifact for 2 mana or just doing 3 damage to a creature. That destroys most creatures out there right now. The 3/3 werewolf that's been running around, and then we've seen a couple different 3 toughness creatures in this set that this will absolutely disrupt. So, Abrade, very good common. This is going to be a limited bomb as well. If you pull this in draft or sealed, keep it. You need it. Moving on to a Wash Away. Wash Away is 1 single blue mana for an instant that says counter target spell that wasn't cast from its owner's hand. It's also got a cleave cost for 1 and 2 blue. If you pay that, it's just counter target spell. So this is 1 mana for target commander, like counter target commander for 1 mana. This is going in every single commander deck that runs blue. 100%. This card is amazing. 1 mana counter target commander. Like what? You can't get better than that. And then if you really need a counter spell, it's only 3. That's what most, besides counter spell itself, most counters nowadays is 3 mana. So this seems like a slam dunk, no brainer. Can't get any better. Just put it in. All right, moving on to the top 3 most liked cards on our Instagram. Again, if you want to be a part of this next time, go follow us on our Instagram at GuysThatMagic. We will take the top 3 cards and we'll talk about them in the last video. Coming at number 3, we've got Thirst for Discovery. Thirst for Discovery is 2 and a blue for an instant. It says draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards, unless you discard a basic land card. Most of these Thirst cards, you draw 3 cards and do something else. This is the new one. Most people, when we discard cards, it's normally a land card. So discarding 1 to draw 3, fantastic for 3 mana. I love that. This is a great card just to churn your deck. Trying to find the combo pieces you need. Thirst for Discovery, we're going to see it in standard. I guarantee it. Can't beat it. Coming in number 2 for our most liked card on our Instagram page is Edgar's Awakening. Edgar's Awakening is 3 and 2 black for sorcery that just says return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Also, when you discard Edgar's Awakening, you can pay 1 black. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. We don't have a lot of recursion at all in standard right now. This card fixes that. Throw a bomb. Let's say you just used Thirst for Discovery. You threw some cards in the graveyard. Edgar's Awakening brings a giant creature back to the battlefield. Okay. For 5 mana. Say you're playing say Coma's in the graveyard. You're bringing Coma back for 7 mana. That's crazy. Or let's say you bring out one of the new giant creatures we've seen this set for 7 mana. 5 mana for a 7 mana creature on the field. Usually a finisher. Also, if you use Thirst for Discovery and you discarded this card, pay a black and return a creature card, maybe that you just discarded with Thirst for Discovery, back to your hand. That's great. Edgar's Awakening. That's a great card. Thank you for liking that on our Instagram. And the final card we're going to be talking about today, the number 1 card that was most liked on our Instagram is, drumroll please, Packsong Pup. Packsong Pup is 1 and 1 green for a 1/1 creature wolf that states at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control another wolf or werewolf, put a +1/+1 counter on Packsong Pup. Whenever Packsong Pup dies, you gain life equal to its power. This was obviously most liked because of the picture. Look how cute that pup is. And just reading the text when it dies is the saddest thing I've ever heard, because you don't want this pup to die. Never let this die. A wolf pup is always dangerous because a wolf pup is never alone. Remember that. Don't let him die. Overall, it's a pretty good wolf. I think maybe if we're seeing werewolves or wolf tribal, this will see play. Just because you're going to be putting counters on it, it's going to be growing. I know 2 mana for a 1/1 to start is not great, but if it does die, you do gain life equals to its power. Definitely not the strongest of cards, but definitely the cutest of pictures. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below telling us what you liked from this set, what you're most excited for. Because I tell you what, there's a bunch of cards I'm excited to play with, and I cannot wait. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We will see you guys in the next video, which is our Commander Grades video. That's coming in the next couple of days. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Follow us on our Instagram and our Twitter at @GuysThatMagic. Again, have a great day. Bye.